Hey guys, today it's time for my top 10 NES collection video. So, here's my 8-bit Nintendo. And got this dust cover that's really tight on it. And I got my Retron, that's how I captured all the footage you guys will be seeing today. And I got my NES Advantage tablet, or controller. That's what I use to play all my games. I hardly ever use these. I think the only reason I have those is for anybody that comes over, and my wife, she likes using them. But also, you guys see the stickers on the front of it. My Nintendo is actually converted where you slide the game in and you do not push down. So that being said, that is what I've got on there. It's called the Blinking Light Win. It helps you not have to blow on it or replace the 72 pins. You should, once you get that, you should never have to replace it ever again. But you guys are here for the top 10 videos, so let's get ready to get into that. Before we do, don't forget, leave a like, a subscribe. Get real close to that 500 mark that I'm trying to shoot for by the end of the summer. So every subscribe is going to help count for that. Also, we now have a Facebook and a Twitter account. You guys can follow me on there. I post all my videos on there too. So let's get on with it. I have 2 honorable mentions. In the first one, you're going to see it twice because it's Gauntlet, folks. Alright. The main reason that I've got Gauntlet on here and it's on the honorable mentions and not in the top 10 is it's a great game. I loved playing it back in the day when I was a kid. The buddy of mine that owned it, we played it a lot, 4-player over at his house. So, that being said, it's a great multiplayer game. I'm not too fond of it, single player. But, you know, like I said, it's a great 4-player or multiplayer game. Go through and you team up and you just try to help each other go through and kill the hordes of ghosts, dwarves, and other things that come at you. And you try to find your way through all the mazes and everything that there are each level. You know, collect the chest, get your points up, get the bombs, see if you can blow things up. But just sometimes just trying to help each other, trying to find the exits is just fun. But that being said, I would actually recommend playing Gauntlet, especially if you have a NES 4-score satellite. I know I've got the satellite, and I enjoy playing this game. But alone, I live 300 miles from all my old friends that used to play it with me, so therefore I don't play Gauntlet as much as I used to. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a great game and I highly recommend it. And the next honorable mention is Marble Madness. Now, Marble Madness, as it is a great game, I will tell you one downside about it. I think the game is a little too short. I think there's only 6 levels. Somewhere between 5 and 7 levels. I've went through the game and I know I've beat it several times on different systems. I first owned this back on the PC back in the day, and then I owned it later on the NES, and I played it in the arcade. But every version I've ever played, I've went all the way through the game. The last couple levels can get hard until you basically memorize exactly what you have to do and learn all the patterns. But this game, it's still an awesome game. It still holds up to today. You know, I put this in. This is my first time playing it, and I know I went all the way to the aerial round, and then I booted up again, went all the way to the last round, booted up one more time, and I beat it. So I mean, like I said, it's a game that brings back a lot of nostalgia, and it's a lot of fun. But you know, it's just you taking your marble and trying to make it, you know, trying to guide it through these mazes and avoid certain traps and things that are there. Yeah, don't hit those. Those are acid blobs. They'll melt your ball. But the graphics on this game for back in the day were just neat. It was a different style game. I really enjoyed playing this back in the day. So I would highly recommend this one too. All right, folks, number 10 on the list. And mine is autographed by the collector or the maker of the game, Rampage. Now this is one where me and my wife, we disagree. She said, when I was doing this video, she goes, I can't believe you have Rampage as number 10. This Rampage on this system, although it was great and it's almost exactly like the arcade classic except for the fact it's a 2-player game. It is a great game, but it gets so repetitive. The cities hardly change, the graphics on it hardly change throughout the cities. That being said, I did go through this game several times. It's not hard. You get infinite continues. And, you can work with a lot of the different things in the surroundings. But, like I said, it's a repetitive game. It's just in its repetitive nature. So, that means that's why I have it at number 10. And yeah, I said my copy is signed by the creator. I got it signed last year at GameCon, which was kind of neat. Something that was unique. Got to meet the creator of Rampage, talk to him for a little bit, and I was ecstatic. I bought this game there, and I got it signed all in the same place, same day. But, like I said, the only reason I have it at number 10 is because of the repetitiveness. You do 128 levels, and they're almost all identical. I mean, yeah, the cities get bigger, some get smaller, some have bridges, some have boats, but it's all basically the same layout. But it is a fun 2-player game. Number 9 on the list, folks. Xavier The Adventure. Alright, Xavier The Adventure. This game is an arcade classic to me. I grew up playing games, arcade in our local bowling alley like crazy. And I remember playing this game in there and I loved it. When I found out this was on the NES, I've always had a copy of this every time I bought an NES. That being said, have I ever gotten over very far or beat the game? Not without using the Game Genie. This game is extremely difficult. I mean, this is me trying to play this without the Game Genie or any type of cheats. And, yeah, I got sort of far in it, but once I get past this first boss, I die. The hidden objects you can shoot up, you can figure out where they're at. But, that's just the thing. That's why I shoot randomly with the bomber. But the fact that you're shooting enemies from the above, shooting enemies from below, that's what I thought made this game unique. Trying to find the different things, trying to find everything. All these hidden items, they're all hard to find, I'll tell you that, unless you just randomly are shooting everywhere. I do like playing this with the NES Advantage. Having the turbo on the aerial fire is awesome. Plus having the turbo on the bomber is useful to trying to find the hidden stuff. Here's the first boss. Wasn't that hard. Alright, next game. Number 8 on the list. Double Dragon 3. Alright, now I know some of you guys are going to say, why Double Dragon 3? Not Double Dragon 1, Double Dragon 2. Because honestly, I actually never owned or played Double Dragon 1 or 2 until later in life. A family member brought this over and I played it for a while, and then I forget which family member it was that brought it over, but they left it there at my house and me and my buddies played this to death. I mean, we tried to beat this. I remember we got so good at it that we actually got all the way to the final boss many times, and we never could beat that final boss. But this game, to us, we had a lot of fun with it, and I'd actually debating on whether or not I can try to get back into playing this again, because I mean, I used to be really good at this game. But that being said, this was my entry to Double Dragon. This is what I found that I liked. And so this is what I grew up with knowing as Double Dragon. Like I said, I never played Double Dragon 1 or Double Dragon 2. I have went back since then and I have played Double Dragon 1 and 2. But to me, Double Dragon 3 will always hold it near and dear to my heart because that's what I grew up with. That's what a lot of us have problems with. You tend to stick to the games that you grew up and you played a lot because you depended on what your relatives or what your family bought you, and this is what I ended up with. Number 7 on the list, folks. Bionic Commando. Bionic Commando. The most earliest memories that I got with this game is of me and my buddy Dave sitting up all night long trying to beat this game, and me and him going, "Oh my God, the sun came up." We would rent this and we would play this over and over and over, trying to beat the game. Remember that? This is one of the first games that we actually stayed up and worked through and helped each other and took turns with doing different levels, and we played and got this game, beat it. And for some reason, it just stuck with me, and it ended up being a fun game that I really enjoyed and really loved. I know they made a successor later in life, and it wasn't nowhere as good as this one, but this was just a game that I grew up with, and it has that nostalgic feeling. It has a fond memory of me and a buddy hanging out, and that was just what that's what makes these retro things or games so great. The nostalgic value and the memories that you formed when you played them. So that's why this game is on my list, and it'll always be on my list. It was when I went to buy my NES, my newest one I got now. This is one of the first games that I went looking for because it was a nostalgic thing. I wanted to get it and play it and go through it like I did. Yeah, I have not had time to go all the way through the game. I really do need to sit down and do that again. Number 6 on the list, Ninja Gaiden. I know most of us have played Ninja Gaiden, and all of us are going to agree. This is an awesome game, but it is extremely, extremely hard. I know I can get to about level 8, stage 4, sometimes stage 5, but past that, I've never even made it to the final boss, and I hear people say the final boss is almost impossible. So, I've played this game, and this is something I've owned, as long as I've owned a Nintendo. I've always had a copy of Ninja Gaiden. And, it's an awesome game. I love the cutscenes between each act, or each level, whatever you want to call it. And it's just a different style game back in the day, and it was just something that all of us liked playing. I know that. But am I any good at it no more? No, I booted this up, played it, couldn't even make it past the stage 2. But that being said, I know I'm rusty. I know I'm nowhere near as good as these Nintendo games I used to. But like, this is those act scenes I'm telling you guys about. The footage they had in between here and the storyline between each level just added an awesome touch to this game. And that's what made this game so unique, I thought. The style of gameplay, crawling up the walls, bouncing back and forth, the wall jumps. I always told people I thought that Mario later in life in 64, they got that from Ninja Gaiden. Now into the next game. Alright folks, time to get to that top 5 part. Number 5 on the list is Super Dodgeball. Alright, now Super Dodgeball, this is a game that a buddy of mine, me and Brian, we used to play this game to death. We would play versus, we would play through the tournaments, we'd play the beanball mode. This game is just, it's a blast. You can get this game on the Switch Online service, I do know that, and I've played through it several times since I've had it there. But this game here, I'm telling you, it's a blast, it's fun, It does get challenging in certain levels if you change the the difficulty on it. I know I've played it through the hard, and I know I've beat the whole game through hard. And the different aspects and different places you go do depend on the toughness of the people. Like this next one here, we're going to fight India. India and Kenya are probably two of the toughest teams I face. For some reason, when you throw the ball at them, it's like they have a toughness to them. Their meters don't drop as fast. Now, there's some of these people, when you hit them with these Powerball throws, I mean, their meters, they drop by 7, 8 things. But India and Kenya, it's harder to run, harder to throw the power moves. But all in all, the game still is a blast. I really recommend people playing it. On to the next game. Number 4 on my list. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project. Alright, now you know my name's Retro Mikey, and I love the Turtles. I'm not going to have any of these classic retro systems without at least showing off one Turtle game. And it took me a big debate which one of these I liked. I do like Turtles 1 a lot, but I went sit down and tried to play it, and remember it was a lot harder than what I remember. And I kind of got to thinking, I was like, I do really love Turtles 3. So that's why I chose Turtle 3 to put it into this list. And this is an awesome game. I did like Turtles 2, the arcade game, but not quite as much as this one. I thought the story was a little better than Turtles 2. And, you know, I have went through and I did beat Turtles 2 and 3, but I never beat Turtles 1. Made it as far as the Technodrome, and then I died. But this one, I liked it better than Turtles 2, mainly because of the different sceneries and the different things you could do. I forgot about the sewer surfing or the surfboard scenes. I think later there's like an air bike scene. I think that's on this one. I honestly haven't played it in so long, I don't remember. But, you know, there's just all these different levels and different types of gameplay, and I thought this one was a lot funner than some of the other Turtle games. I mean, Turtles 4 on the Super Nintendo would probably still be my favorite Turtle game of all time. But, that being said, this was an awesome game too. Number 3 on the list, Super Mario Bros. 2. Now this here is something me and my wife both have in common. Mario Bros. 2 is actually our favorite game on the original NES, our favorite Mario game. We both really enjoyed Mario Bros. 2 more than we did Mario Bros. 1 and 3. Why is that? I don't know. I just kind of like the different aspects, the levels. And I know a lot of people diss this game because it originally wasn't, you know, wasn't really a Mario game. It was another game they just kind of threw a cover over. But that being said, I was excited to get this version, and, you know, it's what I grew up playing, and I liked it. I did own all 3 of them back in the day, and I have beaten all 3 Mario games back in the day, but to me, this was the funnest one. I think this was the first one of the 3 I did beat. But that, you know, it's everybody's opinion, and that's what these videos are about. And this is my favorite Mario. I love the introduction to Birdo, and Birdo did become a staple in the Mario franchise after this. And I just like the different aspects, being able to play with Luigi, having different abilities, Princess Peach having different abilities, and, you know, Toad, that was the first time you could play as Toad. You know, this was just a different style game, and it was fun. That's what I liked about it. Number 2 on the list, Super C. Contra and Super C has a lot of value to me. And the reason this is Contra, I never owned as a kid. Played it in the arcades a lot, but never played it in the never played it at home when I was a kid. But Super C, when it came out, I remember saving up my money for my birthday one year and my allowance, and my mom taking me to a local Kmart, and I remember purchasing this, and this is the first game that I purchased on my own. And I think that's probably was a nostalgia thing to me. I remember back in the day, this is a game that I could go through the entire game and not have any problems. What do you call it? I used to be able to beat this game without using the Konami code that they had for this game. I know this game, it only gave you 10 lives, but it was still a fun game. And that being said, that's why it's on my top 10 list, because it was a nostalgic game. It was my first game I ever bought with my own money. And it was something that me and my buddies played enough that we went through the entire game. So, yep, I highly recommend, if you guys do like Contra or anything Contra, Super C is still a fun game. It's awesome, and I would pick it up. Alright, time to move on to the next game. And my favorite game on the NES, a lot of other people's favorite game. You know, most people had it back in the day. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! And before I go to the gameplay, I want to tell you guys, my most memorable thing at the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Was me getting that. And I was probably 8 or 9, probably when I got it. And remembering my dad back in the day, sitting here, playing with this NES controller, and just dodging and acting like he was, boxing. So that's the comedy aspect of it, but the game itself was just fantastic. But let's show you the gameplay now. Alright, and like a lot of people, I know a lot of people are in love with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, and that it's one of the favorite NES games that a lot of people have. And that's why it's one of mine. I mean, the nostalgic reasons, playing this with my dad growing up, this was an awesome game back in the day. And like I said, I know everybody has these memories of family members jerking those Nintendo controllers. That's why so many of them have broken wires ripped out of the controllers. But this, to me, was the only game that my dad did that to. But that being said, if I come across a copy of this game that I buy at a yard sale just to flip or do anything else with, I put this in and I automatically just start it up and I go until I die. And which usually means I make it to Soda Pop Paskinski. Because right around there I usually have problems with this game and I usually somehow die. I don't know why. But that being said, never beat Mike Tyson. That's just the gist of it. This game is a blast. I put it in. I play it all the time. I've played this one. I played the Punch-Out! Version without Mike Tyson. If it wasn't for me owning this one first, I probably would have the Punch-Out! Version being my #1 game. But, that's the difference. This is an awesome game, and I highly recommend anybody that's ever played it to play this game. That's why it's my #1. Alright guys, so that's the NES collection. I know you guys going to be kind of controversial over why I chose some games and had them ranked higher than another, and why I chose different numbers or whatever. But that being said, this is my opinion. This is my top 10 list because this is what I grew up with. I grew up with the Nintendo. I played a lot of games on the Nintendo because my parents said this is what I had and I didn't need to get anything else. So that being said, almost all my gameplay is always done from the NES with the NES Advantage because it's easier for me on my left hand. I've got a few fingers that are messed up, and it's just what I play with, and I love the turbo aspect of it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to leave a like or a dislike. Doesn't bother me a bit. you know, just happy you guys are enjoying these. I've now completed all of these. I don't know if I'm released the Switch/Wii U video yet, but I've got it pieced together. I still have to edit it. So I'll either release that one or this one first. Don't know which. And I'm thinking about maybe next time doing, I got a few Sega games. I might be able to get a top 10 out of a Sega Genesis. I could surely do a PS1 or a PS2 list, and I could probably do an Xbox. I know I could do an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One list. Those are easy for me. It's the Sega. Growing up, I never had one, so if I did a Sega, I could probably do a top 10 list of Sega altogether, but that'd probably be my best thing to do. So I hope you guys continue watching. I'll be making some more videos here soon. Thanks for watching Retro Mikey 78, and I'll see you guys again next time. Thanks.